Hi guys, let's drive to the northwest while I tell you about my experience on this day and also just reflect on how good God is. So on this day I was traveling to the northwest, Brits specifically, for a funeral to support a colleague of mine. And initially I thought that I would be driving with someone, a colleague of mine. However, she was not available and I ended up driving by myself. And this made me a bit anxious, like the traveling by myself and, you know, a bit of social anxiety as well. I'd never been to Brits, like I wasn't sure if, I wouldn't get lost or anything like that. So I was a bit anxious about that too. So anyways, I traveled, and when I arrived, the program had slightly changed. So it was at the point where, even though I was on time, it was the point where people were leaving to go to the graveyard. So, as I pulled up in front of the house, I was requested to take three ladies with me to the graveyard. And although initially I had never planned to drive to the graveyard because I was a bit anxious about, the whole convoy driving to the graveyard to an unknown cemetery that you kind of have to keep up with, the cars and, you know. So I wasn't planning on driving myself. I was hoping to hop into someone else and yeah. So anyways, but this situation is also ideal because they at least knew the direction. We would not have to rely on the other cars. So we traveled to the cemetery, and I also have not been to a Gauteng or like a funeral around here. And I wasn't really prepared because I was not aware that, you have to have an umbrella because, it's still summer. This is in March. It's still quite hot and you stand there for quite a bit of time and the sun is very hot. So these three ladies all had an umbrella each. And as we walked towards like the site that the funeral would be held, they offered me one of their umbrellas and they shared one. And I don't want to lie, I was so touched by this and I really needed that umbrella. It was really hot, like it was very necessary, like it was not an optional type of thing. After the program ended, we went back to the house and I pulled up in front of the house again and they jumped off and they let me know that Chomi, you will find us inside. So I found parking, walked back, and on my way I bumped into a colleague of mine. I then coincidentally just ended up standing in the line with them, and while I was standing there, my new friends like came to fetch me from the back of the line and they're like, Chomi, your place is up front. After I served food, I was standing in the shade waiting for my colleagues, and my new friends called me again. They're like, girl, don't stand by yourself, come, sit with us. And I just politely let them know that I was actually waiting for someone who was still in the line. And they were like, oh, okay, no problem. But these three ladies looked after me so well. And it reminded me of, firstly, the scripture in Deuteronomy 31, verse 8, which says, the Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. And I feel like there's moments in life where, we are going into the unknown, we're feeling anxious, things are uncertain. You're wondering, like, will you belong? Will you fit in? What will happen? And I feel like in this situation, God reminded me that He goes before me and He prepares everything beforehand for my good, And the kindness of these ladies, is just proof that God prepared that situation to be, perfect for me. I was feeling very anxious and uncertain, but they welcomed me, they showed me kindness, they showed me around, they lent me their umbrella. I didn't have to, burn in the sun. I didn't have to get food at the end, just these small things just reminded me of how God, whatever it is, God is already there and He has prepared everything. He's prepared the hearts of the people beforehand. He's arranged for everything to be perfect. And it was just so comforting. It felt like God, whispering and telling me that, what, I see you. I'll take care of you. You don't need to be anxious and you don't need to be afraid, I'm here. And yeah, that really, really touched my heart, this whole experience. And I hope that little encouragement is encouraging to you, no matter what your situation is, or no matter where life takes you, even in uncertain situations, that God is already there. He will provide and He will protect you, and He'll place the right people in your path when you need them. And yeah, I think I'll end it there. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the vlog. On my way back, I did pass by Hartbeespoort, had a bit of a sightseeing situation, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this vlog and love you guys so much. I've been meaning to talk to you guys. I really have been meaning to talk to you guys, but yay, things just became a little bit crazy, so it just didn't work out like that. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to debrief today with you guys. So I was traveling to Brits. We'll be okay. I'm kidding. Yeah. So I was traveling to Brits today to attend a funeral for my colleagues / Oswaka from work, her brother's funeral today in Brits. So I traveled to Brits, and when I was looking at the directions yesterday, I realized that it's next to Hartbees, and I didn't know that. I don't want to lie. I've never been to Hartbees, and I've been in Johannesburg for like 3 years, 2.5 years, something like that. But I've never been to Hartbees, never. So I noticed that land down there, it's in the direction of Hartbees, right? So then I went on TikTok and then I searched like, oh, Hartbees, what to do in Hartbees and whatever, and then I made a little bit of a short list of okay, maybe what can I do tomorrow afternoon to thingy. What can I do to just nabisa myself? Because I'm gonna drive an hour to what's this, Brits? Yeah, well, I might as well just make the most of that trip. So I made a little bit of a short list of where I can go, and obviously before I left, I didn't know the setup. I didn't know what the setup is. Anyways, I don't know if you guys know this. Obviously some of you guys might know this, but like I've never been to a Johannesburg funeral. Okay, I'm lying. I have been, but it was slightly different, the one I went to. But imingcwabo yalapha are very early in the morning, like very early in the morning. So they didn't start as early. Well, they ended up starting early, but the start time was meant to be 9 o'clock. Kuta 9 to 10. 1 hour side like literally. So anyway, start time was 9 o'clock, but apparently it got full early. I think because people are so used to funerals starting so early here that no, I can't be buy money memo that goes out 9. But here, anyways, so apparently they started what was meant to be like a program yasekhayeni. When I got there, because I was slightly late, but I got there like at 9 o'clock, right? I was intending on getting there slightly before, but kangen was ulenzi xesha. So ndifika ngo-9 mna kuphunywa kusiwa emangcwabeni, basically ngo-9, which is crazy. Tina, if we are going to emangcwabeni that early, the intention is that sizawuqala phaya siye to the church service, and then after that hayi ke kuzawukwenza inkonzo yezithethe nentoni until midday. Okay, so yeah, ndifike kusiwa emadlakeni, and I knew that okay, we're gonna be done by 10, and njengoba sizaba done by 10, that means ndizawujika ndigoduke. No, that's crazy. That's so crazy. So I was like, no, let me just find something to do in Hartbees, J&D's, Visagamandi, and then like drive back, because I've already driven like all the way, So anyways, that's cool. I went to the Hartbees Dam and I really enjoyed that. Like, I didn't know, it's so nice. Ewe ngamanzi. I don't know where that water comes from. Like, it's a dam. It's just water, you know. It's not like the sea, you know. It's not like coastal vibes. But I mean, it's cute. For Orlando Sikuya at Johannesburg. Like, my sister always teases us that that's really good restaurants in back. So basically, it was cute, man. I first drove because I didn't know what the vibe was. So I first drove across the bridge, and across the bridge is the Lion and Snake Park, which I want to go to next time. Hopefully not by myself. And then what else? Yeah, and then I drove across again. Then I parked my car. Then I walked, and like, people were there with like friends and like partners and like younger London. And it was so chilled. Like, I walked across, I took some pictures. There were these guys who take pictures and stuff. Like, he offered to take pictures of me with his camera, which you pay, but he also like took pictures with me of me on my phone. So that was not bad. It was actually very nice. I really enjoyed that. And then I drove to, so I didn't expect that. I thought I really thought like zonke izindawo ndicinga uya kuzo zizaba kule line inye, and I'm just gonna, you know, it's gonna be easy. But like, from Brits to, what's this place, the dam, it was like 14 k's or something like that. And then from the dam to Little Paris, it was another 14. And I was like, Aibo, why Little Paris from? But anyways, fortunately, even though I didn't plan this, but one thing about Uchiko, love him loads. Little Paris is actually en route. It's actually lendlela ndizawuphuma ngayo ke ngoku, like, and go home. Yabo. So I love that. It worked out very well. But however, whoa. Little Paris is for lovers. Like, I liked it. I mean, and they're Paris, and you know what? Love that for me. But like, Little Paris is for lovers. And ndibone lanto xa kufuneka, like, I would have liked to take pictures. It was very full. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I would have liked to take a picture, but that's fine. But yeah, I don't know. Kutansi, like, umntu fota nomntu wakhe, and if uhamba wedwa and awunamntu, sweetie, uzawufotwa ngubani, my babe. And the funny thing is, at the dam, before I walked out, there was a couple who were standing next to me by the what's this? Who were standing next to me by the, like, close to by the dam. Let me say by the dam. And they then wanted to take pictures, but they didn't ask me to take a picture of them. And I was like, Niafuna, like, do you guys want me to take a picture of you? And they're like, yes, please, whatever. So I took a picture of them. I'm like, wow. This is not what I signed up for, but yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Do you, Sana? Sana, Little Paris. Little Paris. Hi, son. Begunzima, like, no one's like, oh, hey, do you want to take a picture? So yeah, anyways, yeah, I enjoyed it. I like the little restaurant. It's quite nice. I had a little cheesecake and a Coke, and then, because I was like, what's the point? Because you pay 50 rand to go in, right? Just for thingy. And I was like, let me just go in and
have cake or something, because obviously bendikile at the funeral and I was really not hungry. So hey, yeah, it was nice guys, but okay, a Little Paris is for lovers, just so you know. So Little Paris requires 50 rand entrance, if you didn't know. And in Little Paris, if you didn't know, it's inside a restaurant, basically. Like you restaurant, ne? So apparently, I don't know if during the week they don't have like an official entrance, but over the weekend, don't. So and then my enjoy your weekend na but yeah. Hey, in 500 meters.